But this is also a deck that I think. Okay, so this is a deck we played before. It had pretty reasonable results. I think we like 3-2'd like 3 leagues in a row with it or something like that. I think it got a pretty understated but good upgrade with Commercial District. I also, after playing it some more, wanted to lower the curve a little bit and like also have more acceleration. And like I've been loving Farseek in other green red ramp decks where this card now just says Surveil 1. It's like it's better than Rampant Growth because it gets a dual land. It's like get a dual land, Surveil 1, which is I think pretty good. I think it turns it from being not quite good enough to being a good modern ramp spell. Maybe you should be playing this in other strategies too. Um, I also really like that this deck gets to play Ancient Stirrings as a really good card selection spell, where you have Palantir, Wondering, and Emrakul as like payoffs to get in addition to lands. So like getting to play like a really effective cantrip in a breach deck is really cool. Palantir is also a good card in this deck. The threat of Emrakul being in your strategy usually means that your opponent is going to choose to have you mill the first time, and then every turn after that you draw a card. Has been my experience, and then more often than you would think, like this is just going to hit them for 15 on the first time. It's happened like a surprising amount of times to me. I probably have had the good end of variance, but it can 4 or 5. It can really blast them. Palantir is like pretty good. This like you also cast it on turn 2 pretty often. It can be uncounterable with Delighted Halfling. And it also gives you a density of all this stuff for stirrings, and it also like scry like it casts like preordain in at the end of every turn to like dig for your combo, which is pretty cool. The Farseeks are sick. They give you more turn 3 rings. This is a really good ring deck with the stirrings and the digging for the combo, and kind of like on a more macro level. I always felt like this deck struggled against Cascade a lot because they're a deck that plays 4 main deck Force of Negation. Even more so Rhinos because they have more interaction than that too. But like I always felt like this deck was like pretty bad against the Cascade decks. But I felt like this deck was very good against Yawgmoth and very good against Amulet Titan. Those are kind of like your two like nice matchups that you're trying to target. Those two decks are like seemingly like the new top decks in Modern. And so this could be a good reason to play a brew like this. So I liked this deck before, and I think this deck is going to be. I think this list is improved. I think this deck is going to be better as well. Like not like it's hard. The Surveil lands are just like such a big deal. Ginger Raid with the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm gonna get the Moxfield updated too. The Palantir was bad. I've definitely said that before, but I like this is like the only deck I've like really liked the Palantir in. It was like I thought Palantir was not very good, and then I built this list and where you can cast it on turn 2, you have Emrakul in your deck, so your opponent really has to let you draw the cards. And since then I've been liking the Palantir. They're playing here, so up against blue-white control, I guess. We will not hardcast Gristle and Emrakul will not happen. A shot, right? Maybe if Jegantha could activate for it. Okay, tech. Halo End. I hate Halo Forager because suggestions hard. Could be okay way to build a deck though. Why do you not have 4 persist in your? Why do you have Unearth over persist? You can persist Halo Forager. It still casts this, right? Doesn't it? Yeah, it still casts the Living End, and then it casts the Living End, and then just brings the Halo Forager right back. It's actually like it's better to persist a Halo Forager than it is to Unearth it because you get the 3/1 in play afterwards. It's also like way better with founding the third path. This plan, like you have Archon of Cruelty into your deck. You should have 4 Archon 0 Sundering Titans in your Grief deck too. This is misbuilt, I think, a little bit, but come on, brother. Let's get 4 persist over these 4 Unearth. Main deck Flame Slash, not the best against blue-white control for sure. But third path can cast on Earth. Persist wasn't doing well for me. I know it can cast on Earth, but like you have like this awesome backup Persist plan. But like, why is Unearth doing well for you? There's like no shot it's better than Persist. Persist is better with Troll. It's better with Archon. It's better with Mending. It's better with Founding, and it's better with Forager for Living End. It's one more mana, sure, but it's one more mana, but it also gives you a 3/1 afterwards. Like let's play this one. Double Pending. I'm gonna cast Jegantha here, I think. Sounding, yeah, it's like there's just like no shot this is better than Persist, in my opinion. Also, like the reason to play this over like Bant Living End would be that you get to play a lot of like cheap cards. I feel like our cheap card count isn't quite high enough. I like the Stony Silences in the sideboard. They Solitude my Jegantha, pitching a Solitude, so that's like a 0. Hopefully draw an Emrakul or draw a land against Stirrings into an Emrakul. Palantir. Maybe we can find a ring and give up also. This is Loses Life. Yeah, this is Loses Life, so it can beat an Emrakul, or can trigger with an Emrakul here. And kind of a small thing I didn't really talk about in the deck tech too is you don't have main deck Spell Pierce. You can use the Surveil lands to kind of like manipulate Palantir a little bit. Stirrings is pretty good. I'm gonna graveyard it because my opponent is gonna make me mill, so I want to make them take as much damage as possible. Wait, no, it targets. Oh no, Palantir. I forgot that Palantir doesn't trigger after the ring protection because it's a target. Dang, I thought it was opponent. And then I graveyarded this Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, Archaeologist is probably maybe good in that list. Yeah, I don't really have much thoughts besides that. I don't really have much thoughts besides the Unearth to be persists, and I would like to get the curve a little lower, like with like more Thoughtseizes and stuff. But I agree it's difficult. Okay, rewarded for graveyarding or bottoming the Stirrings. Found Emrakul, turning around. Pass through the breach. They've already used 2 of their 4 Solitudes. I put Emrakul the Aeons Toward into play. I go to combat. I attack. I put Annihilator triggers 6 trigger on the stack. I sack the 1 ring. They're going through the motions, but they are at 15. Let's go. Close one. The deck is probably going to be pretty resilient to Blood Moon, although I need to get these Flame Slashes out of here. They're like largely here for Yogg and Scion still. Although I was thinking maybe I wanted to do 3/3 last night, and I didn't decide on that today. Let's bring in at least the second Boseiju. I could see even playing 3 Boseijus. Let's probably plan on 2 for their bindings. It's nice that Halfling makes your Palantir's rings and Wrenn and Sixes uncounterable. Double uncounterable on Emrakul. I think I'm gonna play some Blood Moons. I think 2 Blood Moons, and then we'll just play a Relic to cycle. Let's play 3 Moons. Are they a binding deck? Most blue-white lists I think are playing like 3 bindings right now. Living Emrakul, I didn't know. Which is good, maybe. I can Stirrings for a second land here. This once, maybe a turn 3/1 ring. What's my opinion on ban? Should bring a better format. I think gameplay will be better. I think that Brews will open up a little bit. I don't think that it has... The ban doesn't feel like it's something that's going to get rid of any existing deck completely, and like kind of all of these factors combined feels like a pretty good ban. here. Dude, Farseek is just the fact that this just says Surveil 1 now on it is so sick. It just helps you. It smooths out your draws so much. My one worry is we go back to the Yogg Titan format. Yeah, which is part of the reason why I built this deck, is that I think this deck is like pretty good at preying on both of those strategies specifically. I like getting the Stomping Ground here because it makes it look a little bit less like I have Blood Moon in my deck. Okay, so they have Counterspell and Veto, maybe? Maybe they just mistapped. Scales also getting better. I mean, Scales is really bad against Yogg and Titan, so... And I didn't think it was that bad against either Cascade deck, so I don't... One top, one bottom, 5 cards in hand. I don't have any double green cards. And no green cards in hand. I can just survive. Two counter spells down. Cashes in for a card, 4 cards left in their hand. Another counter spell. Then we draw half. Shuffle a couple rings back in. No more surveillance. In here. Yeah, where are all the mill matchups now? Never thought that is the day as you play Palantir. I played Palantir on this channel. I think I'm gonna keep it on top and then just kind of shuffle it back into the deck. That's the Farseek. Just like really getting into the bottom. We cannot hardcast Emrakul. It's not really 15 minutes. Whatever comes up. I'll play the 4th Blood Moon on the play. Time for a 4th Surveil land. Probably not. I know we're playing against blue-white control. Probably not. One thing is, like, I'm not sure we're winning. We threw the breach, but put us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. There's a 3 mana and a Kihira that's gonna kill me. We have 4 halflings in the deck. There's 4 of them. Would have been really key this game. It's part of the reason why I'm not playing Veils, is they make your Palantir. They don't make your breaches uncounterable. Flooded this game. Well, we do have a ton of mana sources in the deck. Being a Jegantha deck helps. Funny that I draw my Jegantha here. I shuffled in. They got a Solitude. It's packed. Having to surveil the Emrakul is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I shuffled a lot of fetch lands. Okay, 3rd Moon on the play. Let's cut one of the bolts. I kind of do want 2 bolts against the Narset deck. Maybe I could cut a four. Let's cut a. I really wish we had that turn one accelerant, but resolve Wrenn and Six. Surveil. I considered Spyro when I built this deck. I had Fable over Spyro for a little bit, but I think I just kind of don't like having that high curve in general. It's just kind of dirtily 3-drops. Palantir is my dirtily 3-drop of choice, but it's really important so you can play Ancient Stirrings. Stirrings is pretty sick here. I think Boseiju is necessary. Aren't they a Leyland binding deck? No value to Boseijus. I brought in. I have 2 right now. I don't think I need the 3rd. You can play the 3rd if you wanted to, but a lot of the blue white lists are only playing 3 bindings, and they're like some people even like all Dovin's Veto all when I have and 6 in play. I guess they just have. Play any Supreme Vintage Cube yet? No, I just only play Modern right now. Occasional Timeless, but I don't have a lot of time for fun Magic. I'm gonna go for Blood Moon over bottom over Palantir first. Suppose I'll surveil first. If I see Emrakul on top, then I'll probably play Palantir. Rewarded. Don't really care if they put it in my hand or take 15. Bottom a halfling, top the Emrakul. Good scenario both ways. Take 15. What do you think you'll play at Hunterburn? I don't know. It's just the ban announcement. I need to take a few days to figure it out. They play a ring, but they're at 2 life. Remember, our Palantir doesn't trigger after the ring protection. Still Emrakul them though, if they have a Solitude. Very funny that we just still drew Emrakul there, actually. Can't Wrenn and Six ping this turn, but yeah, I do think Wrenn and Six pings will. What's the draw to this archetype now? It was bad against Force Negation decks. Much better against like Yogg and Titan, which are now potentially the 2 top decks in the format, and also Commercial District is a really big upgrade for the deck. 15 life? Spending my Wrenn, 3 cards in hand, useless 1 ring. They tapped it? Really didn't think they were gonna do that. Ollie, 10 months, they go back. They do not have Tidebinder, they have Kihira in their deck. They must have another ring, I guess. I don't know. The lethal attacker here. Cards a Days in doing. They're gonna let me draw a card off the Palantir. I heard Athena asking to come in. They do have another ring. Another Emrakul. I'd cast it any second now. Take back up Palantir, I guess. Jegantha. I've cast the Jegantha this turn. Maybe that's better than casting the Stirrings, but I wanted to find my own ring. Priest of Titania making a difference for Modern Elves. Yeah, it's like I've played a lot of Modern Elves, and like I felt like if I could just play Priest of Titania over Archdruid, the deck would be a lot better. Get to Tyvar it back. It's like much easier to chord for. You get to set up your Coriad Ranger, untapping your Priest of Titania as your mana. It's a lot better. It will probably not make Elves a good Modern deck still, especially because the Modern is just going to become more powerful post Image 3. You got a third ring. Should Palantir be legendary? There are. Well, this is Palantr of Orthanc. This is a specific Palantir, right? On the draw, in the blind, how are we feeling? Hard to feel too bad about this one. This hand is probably a turn 3 one ring. And we draw best possible, which is always good. Lucy. Lucy. Well, she hates having. Yeah, let's go to cast the Stirrings this turn, so I can try to find Emrakul. Go Wrenn and Six this turn into Gruul. Microphone cord, but good. We're going to take a look at their build a little bit here. They are still playing at least 2 Force Negations, probably more than that. The bummer. So if we don't find an Emrakul, we can go like Flame Slash plus Ring. Although they're gonna get these other rhinos down, so like the fair Flame Slash plan probably won't work too well. Maybe I was supposed to ping them, so I could get them into like Emrakul plus Bolt range. 3 cards in their hand over there. The basic mountain, right? Maybe I don't. I think I do. Did draw another Flame Slash. I think I should just. I should obviously cast the Wandering. We'll just gift. I don't know if I'm gonna draw anything that's gonna change my mind too much on what I'm gonna cast this turn. I think it's basically always gonna be Halfling though. Get even more rhinos coming down. What is this? Oh, suspend another footballs. Okay, looking for. Oh, okay. And to 12. Let me draw now. If I draw Emrakul, I can put Emrakul in the. Do another ring. And a Stirring. So basic forest, Stirrings, looking for Emrakul. Found Emrakul. Counterable one ring. Okay. Yeah, we could be a Storm's Wrath deck. I guess I didn't need to tap this. I care about. No, I think I care about Leyline Binding more than I care about just not having one of these like lands in my hand. If I had Lightning Bolt, we have lethal. Otherwise, we go Flame Slash, And then they still have super lethal in the backswing, so I guess we need bolt. Okay, yeah, just need to fight a bolt or fourth ring, I guess, or stirrings for the. The other flame slashes probably won't get the job done. Palantir. I have enough mana to cast through the breach, cast Palantir, and then cast Bolt. 3. 1 mana short. If it's Bolt, should you have kept the ring with more counters? It's 3. It's 3 cards either way. It's either 1+2 or 3. 1 less life. Usually just get. I'm a little low on Rhino's hate, kind of thinking that they're likely going to be a little less common right now. We may just run it back, or we could play Blood Moons on the play. I think Blood Moons on the play is way better once there's no Violent Outburst. Makes sense. Just feel like the Flame Slash plan. I want extra Boseiju. Probably all the Boseiju. Ion. Kind of awkward to have all these plus the moon, though. Could even be good on the draw still. The Pioneer Challenge goes in there. My alarm ended up not going off. I don't know why. I slept through it. These are good, especially with the Moon Plan. Oh, there's tension with Blood Moon and Boseiju. Boseiju hits the play line though. Maybe that's what you're saying. There's tension. It's not necessarily a combo because this can give them their basics and not destroy basics. Oh, we have a turn 2 moon. We're close to a breach. Got a basic forest over there. Yeah, Moon looking like it's likely gonna be a lot better against Rhino's Hound. I don't get my Surveil off my commercial district, unfortunately. What a non. Oh, but I get my Surveil here, I guess. Keep a second one. They don't have hardcast force up. You'd guess, but I just have 2. This binding is kind of the issue with this line, huh? I guess we'll go Wrenn and Six, which I doubt they'll counter. An uncounterable one ring. Upkeep, tap the ring. They have Tidebinder or Binding. They have to spend 3 mana on their upkeep, and I can untap and breach them. Okay, so I'll need to have a Force of Negation now. They revealed 2 Force of Negations off the Cascades. They didn't have one earlier for my, for my Blood Moon. They had Boseiju, so maybe they could be sandbagging it. Another ring. Let's just jam it through the breach. Okay, no concession yet, by it being at 15. Game 3, on the draw for game 3. Like on the draw, I'm gonna maybe go down to 1 Surveil land. Probably. Good fun. Thankfully, ice doesn't stop. Sure. That's pretty good if we can find a ramp spell in like the top 3. got a plan. 3 into 4 into. Got a mull in the draw. Yeah, maybe. I don't think mull at all. Boseiju that. That. I haven't played their land yet, so let's maybe not Boseiju to like give them their 3rd land and lose the game immediately. I also may need this Boseiju as my 4th land. Okay, they do have land number 3. Them having land number. Oh, they have kind of forecast for it. I'm gonna kill them. Now we draw the Blood Moon. I guess it's not a Blood Moon game. Resolve. They let the trigger happen. The top like this, they're gonna mill. Take 1, and then I draw the Stomping Ground next turn. Get the Breasting Island, so Blood Moon not gonna be doing a lot. I guess it's still like off their domain stuff. Three cards in their hand, all Stomping Ground. Not. I guess we're casting Blood Moon this turn. Still like turns off double spells. I can't cast Aeons. Their bindings are. Because their bindings are. I'm gonna bottom the Sprawl. I'm gonna put this on top. If they are willing to let them take the damage. Okay, they are. Unfortunately, the mystery card there wasn't another Emrakul for the immediate. Isn't Nahiri too many 4-drops? I mean, it's an extra color, and Nahiri isn't very good, so probably not that bad either. But I'm not like, Nahiri, let's go. Let's get that card in the deck, you know what I mean? They use my Blood Moon in response to the One Ring, so they can hardcast Force of Negation. The commercial. Only have 1 card in their hand. On both of these. Surely they let me draw now. No, they die. You can let like the first mill happen. What I love about this deck is it's just so dangerous to let this happen. You win a lot of games. Just okay. You know this has 3 counters. You're taking 17. Well, 1 of Basic Mountain. I think if this was any other land in my deck, we have a kind of nice keep. We go to 6. Go Wrenn and Six mulligan. Up against another Kihira deck, huh? Is Murktide good right now? I mean, it's still likely mid-tide, you know what I mean? We don't need the Basic Mountain. I think it's okay to play. I'm gonna keep this Farseek, and I'm gonna jam the Farseek this turn rather than run my Wrenn and Six into a counter. It's better to use Wrenn and Six next turn, probably, where my opponent wants to like tap out for Teferi the Time Raveler, and then I can play Wrenn and Six and start to use this as an advantage engine. And if they counter this, it's also like, and they may want to counter this so that they can go Teferi next turn. Assuming with Living in Rhino's taking hit plus Yaw getting better, that Burn is especially well positioned. Do you think Burn has gotten any new tech? I've always liked Dragon Rage's Channeler a lot in Burn. It's a very, very controversial opinion. But Burn is really bad against Titan, which is an issue. But yeah, maybe Burn is playable. We lost to Burn earlier this morning. We draw a land, I'll ping. I guess I'm okay to use the Bolt on the Teferi here. Don't force a negation me. Come on. Stop. No! It. My well-laid plans. Any creativity gaming planned? I don't know. I don't plan streams very far in advance. I don't know what I'm playing tomorrow. But also I don't know. I get a lot of comments that are like, do you plan to play my pet deck? I don't know. I don't plan to play any deck ever really. Just kind of figure it out during the off-stream prep. I graveyard the halfling despite it being a mana source. Just like actual land. Bad. Yeah, except for elves, but that's my pet deck. Maybe it could be our pet. Okay, I feel like my opponent has Solitude because they shocked in the Steam vents, but and they could also have Counterspell up. But the One Ring is obviously okay. Well, no, I only have one. Two blue-white controls this league is kind of tough. No binding though is pretty good for me. Play Timeless Elves. Yeah, we played some Timeless Elves. Yeah, Annihilator still works if they have pro everything. Okay, likely just jamming. A lot of ways this goes wrong. Let's play Jegantha there versus the Reach. It just like isn't getting better. My opponent has a One Ring in play. You know what I mean? You just like kind of hope their hand is like super flooded or all like prismatic endings and verdict berries. It just isn't getting better. So you gotta go for it there. Just 60 months. How's Heartless Summoning doing? It's the best deck in Modern still. My plan is to pass through the Breach in my beginning of combat step if my opponent makes a lot of mana. How to fetchable. Dude, they're playing Reprieve, Force Negation, and Counterspell. Ugh, brutal. And Solitude. Has hit the battlefield. I'm just gonna. I got something. I use all my mana every turn. What's the problem? I wonder what their Counterspell, Reprieve, Force Negation split is. Opponents, they got a ring on 4 counters in play. Sometimes some weird math happens where just all of the other rings are like the bottom 5 cards and you die. Well, you can also have Teferi. I guess it's just never going to happen with Teferi, Omnath, Prismatic Ending. You ever breach in their instep? The problem is if we do it on their instep, they get like 5 or 6 fresh cards. It's just like this is not overthinking. In some situations, you will do that, but in this spot, it's like okay. Then even minus the night. Let's go next one. Slowbro 44, welcome back. Thank you. Triple Moon in, triple slash out. One more Boseiju for the minus because of discarded hand size anyway. So they probably have several bad cards. You know what I mean? I think I want to play 2 Boseijus. Yeah, Force of Negation I think is kind of like one of the number one cards to really be looking at post BNR, where it's like, is it like a good card to just be playing in the main deck of like control and like fair blue decks? Is it just like is it a good card to be playing in the fair decks instead of the unfair decks? I mean, kind of an interesting question. Hate to mulligan in this matchup. Oh, the basic mountain. Maybe we just don't play the basic mountain. I don't know. Go to 5. My opponent's on 6 at least. We keep both Surveil lands. So, bro, think of the 44 months. I've never played the modern format. I want to play your Is It Surveil? Is the deck worth buying? I like the deck. It's one I believe in. It's one I would take to a tournament. I think it's a little underrated. I would recommend it. You like it? Okay. I will accept this 2 for 1 when I didn't have a land to get back anyways. Maybe I could put back the Emrakul on. Okay. Feeling like that might have been. What do you think are the best control colors, with Rhinos being less of a threat? It seems like the main draw to blue-white was the Rhinos matchup. Yeah, I think Wizards in general is probably a pretty reasonable deck to be playing. I always liked Wizards, I think, against Titan and Yogg. I mean, like, Titan can just beat anything, and Yogg can beat anything, but Flame of Venor and Tidebinder are really nice cards in those matchups, so they always felt like something I felt pretty incentivized to be playing. I got 4 cards over there. I got 3 cards over here. Probably 19 months. Thank you. Welcome back. No fear of another Blood Moon. I want to land here, so I think not an untapped one. They have Counterspell. Second blue-white control of this league. Beat him last time. Tough to null 5 this game. Tapping out? You have another force and another blue card as 2 of your 3 cards, I guess. Oh, they just can't resist this. Okay, fuck. I guess Blood Moon. Can see do a force here. No force. What do you Tidebinder versus Yogg when win? Yeah, so people get, I think lately especially, get like a little too like big brain about cards like Tidebinder. It's like when you're holding a Tidebinder, you have like maybe 1 or 2 other options. You will Tidebinder fetch lands all the time. You'll Tidebinder Cauldron. You'll Tidebinder Grist. You'll Tidebinder Yogg. But your opponents are also like playing like slow and tricky, and they're like playing around stuff. And it's like for the most part, you just are Tidebindering like the first effective target you see and have the opportunity to grab. And they find the planes. Let's move on. We're in garbage time. This. Dude, so much mill today. Although we do kind of have the best deck possible to play against mill. One of them at least. I guess if our Emrakul's good surgical, we don't have a lot of good plan Bs. You got Jegantha. Got Wrenn and Six plus Lightning Bolt. If they don't have any main deck surgicals, you know, we just have 4 Emrakul the Aeons Torch. There's one. Guess that's getting milled, but up anyways. But probably is feeling so good to have 3 crabs. Although I haven't milled an Emrakul yet, which is kind of funny. I think I'm just gonna Jegantha in my hand here. I'll also cast the Stirrings, but Yeah, about 5 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, why are people playing so much mill today? This is like literally our third mill opponent today. Not that I'm complaining. Now that we're playing 4 Emrakuls in our deck. Wait, they milled themselves with one of the triggers. Why did they do that? Titan Hunters, I guess. Concede. Well, nice. I'm worried about surgical, so I guess our plan is to bring in these relics so that we can relic our own Emrakul, in response to a surgical. Seems like a good plan. I think I'm gonna also play 2 Blood Moons, and then I'm gonna go down to no Flame Slashes, 2 Lightning Bolts still. Wrenn and Six Bolt is kind of a plan. 62 cards, just mostly don't care about crabs, I think. Yeah, Moon is okay. They have a lot of basics, but it shuts off a lot of their utility land. Okay, nice looking hand. Possibility for a Jund version deck containing Gorios. I mean, be very different because like you have to have several ways to discard Emrakul, which this way currently has none. But people have played like kind of exactly what you're describing, so of course it's possible. Just not the direction we're going in at the moment. Okay, so I'm gonna play Relic first. This way, if I fetch and they Archive Trap Emrakul plus Surgical, I can just Relic to exile the Emrakul that they target. Kind of boned against Extirpate, but everything. Don't get to pick anything up with Wrenn and Six, I guess. It says, man, Relic's good. Yeah, they got a Surgical. Nice. Palantir's back as it mills you. I mean, we just have 4 Emrakuls in the deck. You know what I mean? Palantir is also not really a win con, but if they take too much damage off of it at first, and all of a sudden your plan Bs become better. Very funny matchup. Would you ever play Mill? I've played Mill. I don't enjoy playing Mill usually. The deck is not very good, and it is I find it a little tedious to play, I guess, sometimes. I don't know if that's the right word, but it is the word I use. Let's do playing halfway there, keep rolling up, play it safe. Well, we don't need to pop the relic. We just need to tap it, targeting ourselves, exiling the Emrakul that they target with Surgical. Which is why we didn't lose to Surgical there, when my opponent said, man, Relic's good. What they meant was, I have Surgical in my hand and I can't use it. I'll let Boseiju their Shellbuck Isle this turn. Grail's fun, tedious? Yeah. It's okay. I mean, just everybody kind of just gravitates towards different archetypes, and Mill is one I have had not the most fun playing in the past. Just so sad. They have the Surgical in their hand, but one little relic is stopping them for now. I kind of just want to cast Through the Breach for funsies. If they counter it. I guess I also probably wasn't supposed to play my Wooded Foothills out. I guess I can just pick it back up to Wrenn and Six. Yeah, relic yourself after ring. Huh. I think you're right. Yeah, they had a window. Had a window. So I want to wait on this lightning bolt until after I can retrace in response to a surgical. I think. Why is Mill so popular today? I have no idea, dude. The Discord must be going crazy on their copium. It's so good now. Everyone's playing Titan. You ever try all-be-one combo in the mono red boom bust shell? Every deck in modern is just so different. You just can't. There are not that many. Like I can't say yes. 6 ramp spells are required if you're playing Urza Saga. Like Urza Saga, if you have Springleaf Drum in your deck, it replace the mana it generates sometimes. Sorry for the background noise, gamers. Hope the noise gate is putting in work today. Not sure what this is, but I'm going to cast Palantir on turn 2. Okay, then I'll go top. They'll mill the Farseek, take 2, and then I'll draw the Through the Breach next turn. Lantern? Maybe. I kind of think maybe like blue-white affinity. Sword. Go One Ring and Asmo shells. Yeah, and like I've played plenty of Ring and Asmo with no ramp spells. It just costs 4 mana. It's the top of your curve, you know. And then like I kind of liked it in the mono red NT Asmo deck where you just draw into a lot of bolts and Galvanic Blast and finish your opponent off. Yeah, blue white build would be very funny, which sometimes they play these cards. And Emery Pile. Yeah, that's what I would think. Probably not mill. It could be Lantern, yeah. Deck. I was gonna check that a minute. Yeah, Menino has been posting a lot of new Living in Brew. Pretty cool. I saw this morning he was posted a probably better version of Bloodbraid Marauder Living in deck we played. Palantir Through the Breach. Palantir is sick. I think only really in this deck. Hammer with Soulguide Lantern to fight Gorios. Reveals Sword of the Meek. Yeah, main deck Lantern does make some. Farseek, Commercial District. Looking for actual. Yeah, Thopter Sword's pretty. It's always like the coolest deck that it never really does much. Boy, is it cool. Let's go and bottom both these. If they let me draw, I'm happy. If they take the damage, you can high roll win here. I'm gonna top deck a land. Make a Saga token. What if they have counter magic? Blood Bolt. Saga token. See what this happens here. Let me draw the Emrakul. Guess I should have known that was gonna happen. I don't want to take the Commercial District though, because it's a tap land. Maybe a little greedy. Yeah, I have to get the lawn mode for Dingo. I did, yeah. She was really making a lot of noise. Living in Leyline of Anticipation is intriguing. The floor on Leyline is much higher than usual in a Force LT deck. Yeah, it is interesting. I think there's a very low chance it is, but We'll see. Grabs a Shadow Spear. Love to see an equip. I don't like that this pause likely means that they have counter magic. I do love that they're thinking about countering this, but we can pay for Rebuke. So is this a counter spell? No, it's Rebuke and they just don't realize. Okay. Attack Rebuke sucks so bad. Please stop like you're like, I'm an artifact deck. I'm gonna play Metallic Rebuke. Card is just so bad. I'd play, but it just isn't good. Cannot recommend strongly enough. Not include. Ooh, I drew Boseiju. Perfect. Just cast him Preordain end of every turn. I guess I'll Boseiju the Thopter Foundry here. And kind of hope they tap out. I guess they can't really tap out because they can just get an island off of this. Do you think actual counterspell should replace Rebuke? I don't know. This is the problem. Is that like 4 counterspells don't solve the problem that your deck is slow, easy to race, and easy to interact with. It is very tough for the Thopter Foundry deck that your deck is easy to interact with. It is easy to race, and this is a bad formula for basically any strategy. Not a winning formula, and Metallic Rebuke or Counterspell, neither would really do a ton to help remedy this problem, the existence of either. This is something I've said. We've gotten many deck techs for Thopter Foundry over the last forever. This is always the problem with the deck. The deck is slow, easy to disrupt. Losing formula. But Metallic Rebuke isn't a good card and shouldn't be in the deck. You could play Spell Pierce would be better, Counterspell would be better. It just simply it is not a good card. Not a playable card. Yeah. Shuffle trigger to happen before my scries, of course. I'll take. Opponent has valiantly tanked an Emrakul hit, though. They have to take 15 instead of sucking a land. Yeah. Gotta cast Reality Chip and Thopter. Alright, you got 6 permanents over there. Okay, let's bring in the Boseijus, the Moons. Cursed Totem, Stoneforge, and Urza. Bringing in. I go down a couple lands here. Got a Forest for the use. Let's play 20 land. But the Wrenn and Sixes maybe, or like at least 2 of the Wrenn and Sixes when we're on the Moon plane. There's like a little bit of tension. Oh, we're just gonna cut all of them here. Then I think we can trim like a Palantir and a Farseek. And then play 1 Cursed Totem over Farseek number 3. Let's do that. Yeah. When Urza was around with Opal and Astrolabe were just such load-bearing cards. They were so load-bearing. I think this deck's pretty good. It's pretty simple. Yeah, Oko too. Oko's like the Mox Opal enabler. Okay, let's keep this on the draw against Mulligan of 6 against Thopter Foundry. Missed at 13 months. Thank you, welcome back. Long before Oko's banned in Modern. A while. I remember people weren't really even playing it that much when it first came out, which I know is like sound wild to say, but it was true. And I remember I played it in this like really mid Sultai mid-range deck Or with Arkham's Astrolabe, you're like, you can elk the Astrolabe. That sounds pretty sick. I remember playing it. I'm like, this Oko card is really good. There's a lot of doubt. There was a staggering amount of doubt about the card Oko being like playable in Modern. And then I was playing. I remember I played a lot of this like blue green Eldrazi deck with Oko. That was sick. Just a different time. Bolt the Stoneforge, then cast Stirring. Untap land so we can cast Ring and Uncountable Ring and pay for Halfling. Yeah, the deck was eventually a Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic deck. That Sultai mid-range deck was so fun. It was you played Ice Fang. You played Ice Fang and you played Astrolabe and you played Liliana and Oko. It was pretty fun. Nostalgic. Yeah, let's go ahead and cast Blood Moon so we can pay for Sentinel, shut off Urza, not let them draw a card. Next we can play this untapped and not let them draw a card again. What is Arkham's doing now? Letting you play basics and making Icewind playable? Arkham's is banned, and you should never unban it. Arkham's Astrolabe is a card that absolutely breaks the game of Magic the Gathering. It nullifies the color pie. You would get Blood Mooned by 5-color Divisit decks, and it was correct for them to play Blood Moon. It was a nauseating card that like invalidates the color pie in a big way. When I talk to my dad about Magic the Gathering, he always asks me, why doesn't everyone just play all of the good cards? And it's kind of based, but the reason is, the color pie. The reason why everyone doesn't just play all the good cards is the color pie. It's like I've seen reprieves in these. But like you literally can just play all the best cards in every color in Astrolabe. It's so crazy. Yeah, no, it is pretty base. Just play all the best cards. But with he was very right when Arkham's Astrolabe was legal. I guess you can't destroy the Wonder. Reprieve still works against uncounterable. I guess we should. But we also let them draw the card off Sentinel. Like maybe that doesn't matter so much. Yeah, it's also like there's always like such like disingenuousness when it comes to like unbanned conversations like this. It's like you want Arkham's Astrolabe unbanned because it's like really fucking broken and it lets you play your 5-color soup deck, and that's okay. You can just be honest that you want Astrolabe unbanned because it goes in your pet deck and it's really broken. Yeah, I've been had. I think maybe I'm like the only losing one. Well, we're not necessarily even behind at the moment. Is there a card in the ban list that would warp the format more than Misstep? I don't know. Misstep would be really good, but I'm not. Misstep would be really good, but like there's a few cards that would probably be more problematic. Yeah, Lurrus would probably be more warping. Oko, Mystic Sanctuary. There's a ton of like greedy ass blue mages that are always in my chat going, Mystic Sanctuary, it's time to unban Mystic Sanctuary. Like, never be the time. I say I played more Mystic Sanctuary than. Guess we're just gonna lose. Utopia Foundry even lets them take this Emrakul so well. I drew my Through the Breach, but it's just not even enough. I need to. I guess I could try to Stirrings for another ring. Halfling is also. I did find another ring. Not running engineer. I mean, they have red man in their deck. Maybe they have. Okay, so I'm gonna go fetch down to 2, take a damage down to 1, and I have to find. Even if I find my second lightning bolt, I don't know. I guess I get to discard an Emrakul to hand size and shuffle a ring back into. Exactly the 6 months they go. Plus ring at the bottom now. Yeah, I get to shuffle though. Yeah, I can keep that. So I can't tap that one though. I go down to 1, draw 2, then maybe I'm doing something like. So I can't do the breach and ring because this can't be tapped for another ring. I can tap it next. 1. To be fair, Luris Meadows those for the modern, so much for aggro. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I also think that like the pre-nerf companion modern was some of the most fun modern I have ever played. No banless modern is also very fun. It's like, but there's just also like, you know, some formats are fun and some formats are balanced. I guess I should have bolted them on my turn to not let the bolt draw happen. But yeah, like I also very firmly agree that the One Ring was fun. Or sorry, the companions are really fun. We'll see, do the novelty. Yeah, for sure. It's like it's just like not sustainable, you know. A lot of these cards that you like and are, you know, on the ban list or whatever that you think are really fun but they just aren't like sustainable. The Magic cards, they just you can't play them for ever. My pro or anti vintage. I'm not anti any format. The beauty of Magic the Gathering is there's a lot of like different stuff that we can all do. We don't have to. We can even do a lot of different stuff over the course of the year as like your interest waxes and wanes in formats. I think vintage is really cool. I really like to watch vintage. Like when I get to watch Harry MTG or LSV play vintage, it's like just so cool. I have not played a lot of vintage myself. Yeah, I really wish you could play Luris as not a companion. There's been a few decks over the years like I would just like put Luris in the Blessing Act. Blessing Act isn't a modern playable card. You have unfortunately been diagnosed with EDH brain, although it is very cool synergy with Palantir. Not a bad thought, but it's just not a playable card. Okay, let's keep this. A risky bisky hand. Their deck doesn't have a lot of removal, and I like that this can make my Palantir uncounterable. I guess the Cursed Totem is kind of awkward with my Halfling again. We could wait on casting it for a while, too. It gets givered, didn't even know they had the card. You didn't draw a land. Are any of the Assassin's Creed spoiled cards modern power level? I don't think any of the spoiled ones are. Seeing every card in the modern best, let's just say on it. No, I think there's like 5 or 6 cards that I think could come off. We've talked about this at length, but I'm pro Seething Song unban, I'm pro Jitte unban, I'm pro Punishing Fire. Hypergenesis could come off, whatever. Doesn't matter. There's like 2 more that for some reason I'm kind of blanking on despite talking about this topic all the time. Rinzo with the 5-pack. Thank you so much. We've got a gift from Finjo. Make sure to thank them. It's very nice. Yeah, I think Birthing Pod could probably come off. Let's let them draw the card. Let's just get this online. Get this kind of awkward hand unawkward. Do you see how Progenitus would be fine? Yeah, it would be completely unplayable in every manner, especially now that Violent Outburst is banned. It's worse than Glimpse. It's worse than the Glimpse combo. It's like even significantly worse than Glimpse. Take 15. Yeah, it's worse than Glimpse. It would be unplayable. Yeah, I think Bridge should have never been banned in the first place. Some people make the argument that Bridge is a unbalanced Magic card. Man. They're kind of right. And one issue I have with Bridge now is Lamplight Phoenix plus Alter actually goes really hard with it, but it would be pretty fun. Birthing Pod and Yogg. So here's the thing about Birthing Pod and Yogg. I'm not actually convinced it's that good. I actually tested Birthing Pod and Yogg against Caleb, and it's slow, clunky. It costs you a lot of life, which is a much bigger problem in Yawgmoth than it was in the Kitchen Finks deck. You know what I mean? I'm not actually convinced it would be correct to play in that deck. And if it was a card you played in the deck, I'm not convinced it would be that big of a problem either. They got Shadow Spear instead of Cauldra, so they certainly have Cauldra in their hand, I think. So if I can curse Totem to get them off. I think I'm gonna Flame Slash the Giver. Not pay. Then unfortunately curse Totem. Oh. Well, damn. They just didn't activate the Giver. We'll have to do this. I really doubt my opponent's going to mill here, so I'll just draw the mountain. With Finks and Yogg, simple as. Deck just doesn't have that many flex spots. You can play Finks and Yogg though. There's some combos with it. I used to play Yogg with Kitchen Finks and Kitchen Finks on Dying Creature, Phantasmal Image, Sack Outlet is that is infinite life and infinite whatever your Sack Outlet does. Yeah, I'm playing in Stop Your Sword here. They Cursed Totem or Portable Hold my Cursed Totem, I'm assuming. My Utopia Sprawl instead. And then they cast Nettle Cyst? Dude, I can't believe I'm gonna lose this game. All the shit I talked to. The card. Good pick up. We won't lose after all. Both to the bottom. No shot, they let me mill. You're back, the series was fun. I mean, the series was fun, but just like we said last time too, it's there isn't really any point in just continuing the band series just to continue it, just because people liked it and it was it was popular or whatever is it not a good reason for me to want to do something. Need to because besides Twin and Pod, we both agreed there wasn't a ton that was really interesting to test. And is a good pickup here. Flash Stoneforge, and then we'll Boseiju the Nettle Cyst. The problem is, of course, that this is going to give them a basic island. A lot we can do about that. Flam 27, thank you, welcome back. We're going to take 2 also. The band series. Just me and Caleb D. We play tested. What if Splitter Twin was unbanned in Modern, and what if Birthing Pod was unbanned in Modern? This is 2 years ago, and the data's probably not that relevant anymore. you'll do another trophy race. Image 3 comes right. The previous races were so much fun. That would be like the worst time to do it, to be honest, because like I need to be brewing and playing a lot of stuff. Like trophy racing is not something that is really possible when I'm focused on brewing and trying to build new decks, which is kind of what post Image 3 is all about. And also, like, the trophy race was like in a time where there was no competitive Magic to be played, and now we do have like we do have Magic tournaments again. So it's Flame Slash. I guess it's really bad if they put the Shadow Spear on the chip after I bolts. Bottom it. But the Boseiju's probably a pretty good pickup. Like that was a huge part of it, was that there were no Magic tournaments to play, and so we were just kind of making our own fun. That's no longer the case. You still own the trophy record? I think so. I'm sure someone would have told me if someone had beaten record. Prize Roots to make more of a splash of Modern, set it more difficult than expected. I think my Jund Inti Roots deck is like pretty good. I'm thinking about playing it at the Hunter Burton. Problem is, like, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty bad against Titan and Yogg, which are now like the decks to beat. And Modern's just kind of in a weird place in general. There's a lot of moving pieces. I think my opponent has Spell Pierce in their hand. I don't really want to have to Boseiju this, though. I think what we do is we play the Boseiju to play around Spell Pierce. Rebuke, I guess. Should I have left this up to find another Boseiju? Maybe I should have. Keep that stirring is to look for Emrakul. Yeah, Hunter Burton is this weekend. Oh, and then they hardcast Cauldron and kill me. GG. All that shit I talked, I guess. Let's do one more of this. Sorry, believers. We did punt game 2. Played around Reprieve for no reason.